We're recording? We're recording. Yeah, we're recording. Are you gonna be okay? Are you gonna be okay with that? Yeah? You're gonna be okay with that? Okay, hi. It's been a really long time. I wanted to make this video. I know. I just wanted to rip the band-aid off. So I don't have my actual camera because I can't find the batteries. And if I found the batteries, they probably wouldn't be charged. And this is really a slapdash setup that's happening right now. But yeah, I've got notes here too, so I'll keep leaning over and doing this. I don't even want to say how long it's been. I've almost picked up the camera several times. I picked up the camera several times. I have the first half of 2 videos filmed. I just never finished them, as is my way. As a summary, I did my sort of self-appointed film school, and then I got really sick. I was sick for about 2 months. And then I decided that I really needed to get an actual job. So that took up all of my time, and then I had to wait for the job to start, so I reupholstered a couch. Could I have filmed myself doing that? Of course. Did I? I didn't. Then I was working, and that position was really stressful. And then I got this place, and the week before I was supposed to move in, it flooded. So we were working on like putting the walls and floors back. Basically, long story short, I've got chronic pain and fatigue issues now, and well, I've had them. I'm learning to deal with them. Okay. Do you want to go outside? Is that it? Okay, let's go outside. Let's go outside. Let's go. So we've been outside. Well, I've been outside. She decided that she didn't want to get soaked by the rain. So now we're back here. Okay. Yeah, where was I? I think only like 13, not even, only a few people watched my previous videos, and they were just my friends, and then me looking at how none of them were the perfection that I wanted them to be, which is life when you don't have a lot of skills or like tools. When you're starting from scratch and you know what perfect looks like, it makes what you're capable of painful to watch. Anyway, so I'm starting this channel back up as an external motivation for me to do the things that I love to do. And so what are the things that I love to do? I love to write, whether it's like poetry or short stories or novels. Like, I want to really grow my writing skills. I probably won't do screenplays because it's a bit too close to home right now to do that. So some of the content that I'm going to be putting out will be writing related. A lot of it will be like BookTube stuff. I've been watching quite a lot of BookTube, and it's just been bringing me a lot of like comfort and peace, and I want to be reading more so that I can be writing more. Yeah. Is that all I have to say about that? What else do I like to do? I like to talk about this girl. I like to talk about Inkling, Just a Baby Girl. I really like movies. I like ranting about movies. I will probably have content about that. I like art. I'm sort of a maker. I like making things with my hands, whether it's like fine art or textile art or bigger DIY projects. Like I'm working on a chaise lounge upholstery tear down thing. So maybe videos like that will also appear in the future. I don't really know. But basically, I want external motivation to push me to do the things that I want to do that maybe I don't have the energy or the motivation internally to do. Yeah, okay, so with that exciting little previously on Joe's life, I found the newbie booktuber tag. I'm gonna just go ahead and start answering those questions. Why did you start your channel? So originally I started this channel to be a filmmaking. I wanted to sort of give myself a crash course in filmmaking. But now I'm focusing on just writing. So I started this because in order to write better, I knew that I needed to read more. I read really slowly, so it's hard for me to pick up a book because I know it's going to take me a long time to read. But I've been really getting back into it over the past year. And I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks. But I've been watching a lot of BookTube, and it's just really fun. It's a great community that I have sort of, what's the term? Parasocial relationships with all of these booktubers that I've never met. And I just thought, I've been reading a lot. I'd also like to share my thoughts, and, a lot of people haven't read the books that I've been reading, so I don't have anybody to talk to about them. So now I have this camera. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? I guess my weird personality is mostly what I'll be bringing. I think I like an eclectic range of books, so I'll be bringing that. So I'll be talking about books, I'll be talking about writing, I'll be talking about movies. I might be doing some crafts here and there, or some DIY projects. So it'll be a variety that will all sort of be cushioned up in this reading and writing and storytelling gift wrap, I guess. What are you most excited about for this channel? To be honest, I'm very anxious about starting this channel because I'm aware that I'm putting these on the internet for people to judge, which is not my favorite thing in the world. I really don't love conflict, and I don't love being looked at. But here I am. I'm an enigma. So that's not the question. The question is, what am I excited about? I'm really hoping that the fact that I am using this to be an external motivation for myself, that I can push myself to let this be consistent, and that even though I'm dealing with some health stuff, that I can make the consistency sustainable. Why do you love reading? I love reading because just the creativity of, not even just the creativity, it's a way to learn. I mean, if it's nonfiction, it's a way to just learn and hopefully be entertained while doing it. And hopefully in being entertained, you can retain the information. That's a big one. But as far as like fiction goes, just to be able to witness the creativity of people, and like just the worlds that people create, the relationships that people can create, the catharsis you can get from reading, the feeling of being seen, the feeling of getting to know different perspectives. And maybe the most obvious would be escapism, because the world's awful. So yeah, escapism's pretty cool. What book or series got you into reading? My mom read The Giver with me, or like, Madeline and Amelia Bedelia, because of the puns. But yeah, so I guess the Giver series, which I didn't actually know was a series for a really long time. Oh, you know what? Animorphs, when I was a kid, really liked Animorphs. Recently a series, Harry Potter, The Hunger Games, What's another? Oh, you know what? The Thursday Next series by Jasper Fforde. Love it. Love it so much. The first book is The Eyre Affair, and it made me want to read Jane Eyre, even though I hated Wuthering Heights. And I thought, well, if the one sister writes a book I hate, the other sister is going to write a book I hate. And I love Jane Eyre. It's maybe my favorite book ever written that I've read, obviously. What questions would you ask your favorite YouTubers? To be honest, there's I have a lot of like favorite YouTubers. The one that comes to mind first is I would ask Sierra from And They Were Readers where to get a copy of Body Kintsugi, because I can't find it anywhere. Where do you read? I read at home, or if I have like an e-reader or an audiobook, I road trips, walking inkling, I'll read an audio or listen to an audiobook, standing in line for something. Yeah, just mostly at home, but anywhere. Just not in the back seat of a moving vehicle. What kind of books do you like to read? Mostly literary fiction, but I do love fantasy. I like science fiction, but I'm trying to get into that more. I also read short stories, I read poetry, but speaking of which, I thought I would go ahead and do a book haul. I kind of went crazy over the holidays with books because, you know, there were sales, there were gift cards. So I thought I'd just share kind of a big amount of books that I got. I visited a friend in Dallas, and while we were in Dallas, I got quite a few books. But I got the Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. My friend recommended it. She said that I would really like it. I've heard a lot about it, obviously. So I thought I'd give that a go. Open Water, it just seems like this is going to be really poetically written from what I understand. And I love poetic writing. Hence the fact that I read and write poetry. I got Outline. This is because I think it was Sid Bookworm who has been talking about this. It seems really interesting. Also, it seems like it might be a poetic read, so I wanted to get that. Literal poems, Langston Hughes. I'm not really familiar with a lot of Langston Hughes poems. I know that I have read and loved some of them, but I can't name them off of the top of my head, and I would like to just familiarize myself with more of his poetry. This is called Film for Her. It's kind of a memoir poetry journal. I like photography, and I took a look at this and it just seemed really lovely, so I wanted to read it. Simple as that. The Unfolding, and what did I read about this? I opened this up and I found a couple of poems that really spoke to me, so I thought I should definitely get it. I found A Prayer for the Crown Shy at Half Price Books, which is fun because about a year ago I found the first in this series also at Half Price Books, the same Half Price Books, the same spot on display. I haven't started reading that one, but I wanted to go ahead and get the second one because I feel like I'm gonna like it. Let's see, I got a book by Frederick Bachman because I haven't read any of his work before. This is My Grandmother Sends Her Regards and Apologies, and this is one that I haven't seen personally anybody talking about, and so I thought I'd give it a go. This is Depression and Other Magic Tricks, and I can't remember what poem it was, but I read one and was like, yeah, I think she wrote this book for me, so I thought I thought I'd get it. I got this Billy Collins book of poems. It's called Sailing Alone Around the Room. And I don't know if he still is, but he at least was the poet laureate for the US. And I know a couple of his poems, and again, I just want to familiarize myself with more of his work. The Sea of Tranquility, I heard that this was a really poetic story. I don't know much about it. This one is just a Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore. To be honest, the cover stood out to me, and I've seen it so many times, and I finally decided to go for it because there was a sale at Book People. Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. I saw Never Let Me Go years ago when the movie came out, and I loved it. We read the book for my book group recently, and I really love the way that he writes. It's sort of the happy, sad, really contemplative, I think. And I have heard really good things about this. It seems like it's up my alley, so I got it. Get a Life, Chloe Brown. To be honest, I don't read a lot of romance. A lot of the booktubers that I follow read a lot of romance, so it's funny that I don't really read a lot. But I had heard that this book is about a girl who has chronic pain, so I wanted to read it. And I've heard that there's no spice, and I don't love spice, so yeah, I wanted to give that a try. I got The Sun Also Rises. It was just kind of a, like, look at how fun that cover is. Of course I want it. I have read Ernest Hemingway before. We read him in school, and I just want to, again, familiarize myself with more of his work, just because I want to know, I kind of want to be able to study how those classic authors, how they worked their craft, sort of. The Elements of Style, super fun and exciting. This is sort of to help edit myself, basically. It was a fun copy. It's got fun pictures. Do I sound ridiculous? Probably. Yeah, I wanted to get it, so I got it. There you go. Richard Powers, this is called Orfeo. I have an interesting history with Richard Powers, not personally, obviously, I've never met him. I'm in a book group, and ages ago, we read The Echo Maker, and I enjoyed some of it very much. I thought that the way that he created his imagery was beautiful. The pictures that I got in my mind were just lovely from his writing, but the story itself it was fine. It was just fine. And the noise that you're about to hear that's really obnoxious is my AC. I don't know if I can take it out in post. I will try, but I also don't want to stop talking because I need to, this is long so far. Then I read The Time of Our Singing. I thought that was a beautiful book, but a little bit too long for me. And there were some scenes and some sections that I wasn't sure why they weren't edited out. In my understanding, they didn't make sense to keep in when it was a pretty long book. But that's maybe for me to contemplate why I feel that way about those scenes. But it was beautiful. Then I read The Overstory, which I loved. So I saw Orfeo. I also have, I don't know, I can't remember. I have another one of his books. And it was on sale. Well, I had coupons, blah, blah, blah. No, okay. This is a Margaret Atwood book of short stories. I have not read any Margaret Atwood. I would like to change that. And I thought to get a book of short stories would be great to get to know her writing style. I always like to get some poetry books and maybe some short story compilations, so I got a bunch of poetry, and this is called Noon 15. So I got those, and then Erasure. I had heard about Erasure ages ago. Then I saw, is it American Fiction? I don't remember if that's actually what the movie was called now that I am on camera. I think it was called American Fiction. Anyway, I love that movie. Found out that Erasure, this book that I've been hearing about for ages, was what the movie is based on. So I had to get it. So that's my most recent set of book hauls from the holidays. Who knows when I'll be getting to them, because again, I read really slowly. My goal this year is to read 50 physical books on my physical TBR. Not all of this is books that you can see, but a lot of them are books, and a lot of them I haven't read yet. So I really want to dedicate some time to being able to read these physical books, feeling free to mark in them with any notes I have about like the writer's craft. Okay, so that's all for my book haul. Last thing, gosh, this is a long video. Since it's still the beginning-ish of January, when I'm filming this, I'm not sure when I'll get it edited and posted, but I thought I'd go ahead and do a TBR for the month. This is going to be kind of an odd TBR, I think, because I do have some books on hold at the library that I will read if they come in, but I have a number of books that I have started throughout the years and have not finished. So this month is the month, basically, that I want to finish these things. And I've been finishing them slowly. I finished, it doesn't matter, you don't care. Basically, okay. So Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, this is an epic poem. They recently made it into a movie with Dev Patel. Great movie. Kind of an odd movie, but if you like art house stuff, you will like it maybe. I really liked it. And I read this in college, but I wanted to give it a reread. The Bone People, this is a book set in New Zealand. I'm not even gonna try to get into the plot of it. I started reading this like 8 years ago for my book group. It's thick for me. It's a thick book. Again, I read slowly. And I did not finish this in time for our book group meeting to talk about it. And so it's been sitting unfinished on my shelf for that long. Anyway, so I'm reading that. After I finish those two, my brother got me Juliet Naked like the year that it came out. He got it for me for my birthday. This book came out in 2009. So I've had this book unfinished for 15 years. Just you know, just living the life, guys. Just living the life over here. Never Whistle at Night. I got this several months ago. Again, I think this was Sid Bookworm who was talking about this first. I read the first short story for Halloween, and I have more short stories to finish. So I'm excited about that. And then Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters. I read, I have an Audible subscription, and I've had it for ages, and the first book I ever got on Audible was Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. And then I got this soon after that. Did I read it then? No, I did not. No, I did not, and I'm about 2 chapters in. So I need to finish that. And then last but not least, I'm borrowing a couple of books from my mom that I need to get back to her at some point before the world ends. That sounds pessimistic. I didn't mean that in a pessimistic way, but in a way of like, again, I read really slowly. Okay, so this is John Steinbeck, Travels with Charlie. You know, classic. I've heard so many good things about it. would love to read it for myself. And then 1984. Anyway, if you're watching this, thank you. Hi. And I will see you on the next blank page.